This is just going to be an update on my tanks and my stock. Um, I've had the unfortunate pleasure of dealing with a bout of Malawi Bloat recently. Malawi Bloat, I'm sorry. And yeah, it's been terrible to me. The disease is just a bastard, and it will destroy your stock completely. Read countless articles, tried countless treatments. If your fish start to catch this, I've read they're given a 50-50 chance if it's caught early on and they're treated correctly. I've tried everything and had a 0 success rate as far as treating these guys. This tank probably housed 35, 40 cichlids at one time. It's probably down to about 22, 25, I don't know. So yeah, I've lost a good deal of fish. I'm guessing at least a dozen. I've lost my Red Empress, one of my blue dolphin juveniles, my Fireline Mloto. Some of these guys I may pronounce wrong or screw up their names somehow. I think the other one I lost was a williamsi blue lip, Lions Cove, Bay, yellowfin, Bay lab, or some such crap. I'm not even sure. It's taken out a lot of them. For the most part, they've all been Mabunas and Haps that I've lost. I think I've caught up with it. At least I hope I have. All I can really say is I have no idea of how this tank contracted it at all. You know, I've read it could be, it's usually a series of things, not just one thing will bring it on. You know, like the fish will be stressed with a combination of bad water quality. They may have come in contact with a fish that had it. It's really impossible for, I have no idea of how this tank contracted it. I've quarantined everyone that had it after I recognized what it was, and proceeded to treat them, and they proceeded to die. This disease is it's a bastard, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So yeah, it's taking out the bunch of Mabunas, bunch of Haps. For the most part, my peacocks have been okay. I have a peacock in quarantine right now. My sulfur, I think he's a sulfur head. I've just been really monitoring these guys, and I've even reduced feeding. I used to feed these guys twice a day, but also if you overfeed, that could also bring it on. So I had no idea. Maybe I was overfeeding. I have no idea. I don't think I was, but I reduced their feeding to once a day. So now these guys are, they're pretty hungry when it's feeding time. So anyone that doesn't eat or refuses to eat or hides when it's feeding time, I assume and jump to the conclusion that something's wrong with them, and they now go into quarantine when that happens. Yeah, it sucks. This is really a very frustrating hobby. It just brings you to the point where you just really want to pull the plug and start completely over. Just trash everything and start anew because you can't figure it out. It's amazing that something like this, something so prevalent in this hobby, there seems to be no surefire cure for. I mean, if anyone's been able to successfully treat this, feel free to leave me some comments, because everything I have tried has not worked. I mean, I can't even pronounce the medications that I've tried, but you know, I'm sure if you've dealt with it or heard of it, you know how you're supposed to deal with this. If it's early on and there's only a fish or two, you quarantine them, you don't feed them, and you begin treatment. The treatments that I'm sure everyone's heard of: clout, tetra something, some such shit. I don't even know. But yeah, this really sucks. I'll take you guys down to the quarantine tanks and let you check those out. Okay, so here we are down with the quarantine tanks. I mentioned earlier I think I might have mentioned I have 2 currently in quarantine. I actually have 3. There was actually one that I was not counting because I'm pretty sure he was on his deathbed, and he pretty much just confirmed my suspicion. He has expired. Yes. The dreaded Malawi Bloat claims another victim. Fuck you, Malawi Bloat. I don't even know what that guy was. See, he was pretty. He was, I don't know, like a grayish blue with yellow fins. I can't even remember what he was called, but anyway, he's all done now. And get him out of there after this video. I have these 2 quarantined right now. That little guy there with the yellow fins, I think he's yellowfin mbamba. Probably pronouncing it wrong, but whatever, you get the idea. He's been in here for probably 3 days. He just refused to eat at feeding time, so I quarantined him immediately and started treatment. I only have 2 quarantine tanks, so probably after a day after he started eating, I noticed that little peacock bastard back there. He joined the I'm not gonna eat club, and I probably have bloat. So his ass is now in there too, and they are both being pumped full of meds, and all we can really do is keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best, because I have a 0 success rate so far at saving these guys. I don't know, the peacock, he doesn't look too bad at the moment, but it's that you can't really assume that he doesn't have it, because I'm telling you, the last 4 or 5 that I put in quarantine, they were in good health they were seemingly in good health when I put them into quarantine, with the exception of them not eating. And then they just pretty much deteriorated from there. They just, I put them in here in the quarantine, they get pissed off, they're little bastards, they don't like being in there, and, and then they just sort of start to take on the other characteristics, sort of hanging on the bottom of the tank, not doing nothing, just like, they're tired or exhausted or whatever the case may be. It's one of the symptoms. And then they proceed from there to blow it up. Usually anywhere from, I think I read 24 to 72 hours, and it's pretty accurate. Anywhere from 24 to 72 hours after they show the first symptoms, they usually end up expiring. The bloated belly usually comes later in the disease. Usually at that point they're too far to even save. I haven't even had luck catching it early on so far, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm hoping that this is the last of them. Yeah, they've been dropping. They were dropping. Seems like they were contracting it. Like someone was getting it every 24 to 48 hours. A new fish would stop eating. It's been about 48 hours since this peacock's been isolated, so everyone else is still eating so far. So I'll just have to keep my fingers crossed and hope that that continues. And I don't know, hopefully I can at least save one of these guys. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks.